Expert news and views on the Lowcountry real estate scene. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on 1250 WTMA.
Welcome back, Charleston, as the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA. And I always like to take a little time to just say thank you to those of you that listen to this program and rely on the information within it to shape your outlook for the real estate market, plan for the process of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, and hiring the right agent for you to help you get that job done. And if I can help you with that in any way, shape, or form, you want to start talking about plans for next year, you have an idea of what you'd like to do, and you just need to put some pieces together. You want to know what's going on in the market. You want to know what it's going to look like when you decide to sell next year, next spring, summer, whatever. I'm happy to provide a plan for you and just talk about the process in general. Let's put some pieces of the puzzle together and let's help you come up with a solid plan. My number, my cell phone, in order to do that is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273, or visit my website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Now, I want to talk about, the hot topic right now, which, what's kind of funny, and I'm going to call my industry out for a moment here. Isn't it funny how whenever you talk to a real estate agent, they say, hey, when's the best time to buy or sell? They always say right now. And I mean, it's the truth. Just ask, 5 agents, hey, when is the best time to sell my property? The majority of the answers you're going to get are going to be right now. And so whenever somebody asks me that, of course, I dig deeper and we ask questions about their motivation and what's causing them to sell right now, what's important about this date, what happens if they don't sell their home in X amount of time, what would happen if I sold their home in a week? Would that pose a problem for them? Because literally a third of my listings sell in a week or less. And when we ask those questions and they say, no, that's not a problem, and then it actually happens, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Eek. All right, let's get on the horse here and get some work done. But why should you sell right now? I actually want to give you some compelling things to think about here. And the first is, this time of year, you don't see a lot of new listings hit the market. You really don't. But you have all these buyers that would move if they found the right property. We are dealing with a shortage of inventory in the market, even though we're seeing the shift, which is coming from buyers' unwillingness to continue to pay increased prices for homes, given the rate by which they've already increased and the increase in interest rates. They're just not as motivated to buy now. Plus, buyer sentiment is that the market will shift. Builder sentiment is the same way. Agent sentiment is the same way. I mean, the talks behind closed doors about what's going on in this market in a real estate company's office is all about what are we doing right now to prepare for the shift that has already occurred. And a lot of agents out there, the first thing that they jump to is, okay, let me start cutting some expenses. Let me cut away at this and that and the other. And they start doing less marketing. They start paying for less services. And you as the seller ultimately receive either less leads or just weaker service. The experience is less than what it could be because some of the stuff that we do, in fact, everything that we do for the most part, costs either time or money. And the first thing that agents are going to cut out is the money. And they're going to start working harder, and good for them because they probably haven't been working very hard over the past few years because the market's been easier to sell real estate than it has been in well over a decade. But as this market continues to shift, that's when the agents that actually know what they're doing are going to shine. Because we've had thousands of agents join this market over the past decade. And it's always going to be the 90-10 rule in real estate. I dare you to find a collection of years going back, since the MLS was created and tell me that 10% of the agents aren't doing 90% of the business out there. That's the way it works. Or at least the 80-20 rule. But as this market continues to shift, sellers are going to reconfigure. You're going to have the sellers that don't need to sell get put between a hard and a rock place because let's say, at the end of the year, all these listings come off the market like they always do. A lot of these agreements between sellers and real estate agents are written to expire on December 31st, which is why January 1st, your phone is going to blow up if you have your house on the market right now and it hasn't sold by December 31st. On January 1st, I promise you're going to get 50 phone calls from real estate agents saying, hey, I can sell your house. Hey, I can sell your house. Hey, list it with me. Here's what I do. I'm the best. Well, no, I'm number one. Actually, I'm number one. But, you get all that mess. It is what it is. And I do it too, just so you know. I'm not a hypocrite here. We help. Over 60% of the listings that we sell were previously listed by other real estate agents. So I get it. We're calling because we want to help people. And because they've got a desire to sell and they're likely very frustrated. But what's going to happen here is that these sellers that have been either overpriced or undermarketed are going to hire an agent that know what they're doing. And they're going to get that home sold. But it's probably going to be at a lower price. And so it only takes 2 or 3 in a neighborhood to correct their price before the seller that they don't really need to sell. They'd like to sell if it works out. But if it doesn't sell, I guess that's okay. Or at least that's kind of what they're saying to themselves. And they want to get $400 for it. And 2 or 3 other homes in the neighborhood just theoretically adjust their price to $385 and they sell. And so the seller that doesn't have to sell says, well, but they priced their home to sell in, a week or less. They gave it away and, that's not my position and I don't need to do that and I don't need to accept that. Well, the problem is the market's now telling you that your home is worth $385. And in a shifting market that's going to start favoring buyers more so than sellers, guess what? It is not time for buyers to overpay for property. Over the past several years, when we have appraisal issues where we actually sell it for, we get a contract on our listing for more than it appraises for. And the appraiser says, hey, I understand the buyer's willing to pay it. I just can't justify it because the prices haven't climbed that quickly in that neighborhood. Which is a testament to how well the agent did to sell the value of the property. But if a buyer's getting a mortgage, they can only buy it for the amount of the appraised value unless they're willing to bring additional cash to the table to close on the deal. So if you have a contract for $400,000 and it appraises for $390,000, the bank is only going to loan on $390,000. So if you're doing 10% down, that's $39,000. But then you have to come up with an extra $10,000 cash. So now you're at $49,000. And for a lot of people, they're not in a position to do that, which means that home is not going to sell. The issue doesn't necessarily come up that much in a shifting market, but buyers are weary of prices anyways. That's part of what's caused this shift. That's the main reason why this shift is occurring. And so you're going to have very, very few, needle in the haystack few number of buyers that are willing to overpay for a property. If they do, it's because they really, really, really want it and because your house is unique and because you've done a great job of your upgrades or your maintenance or your condition or whatever. But they're willing to pay a little bit more than what it's worth for the convenience of being able to move their stuff right in. There are plenty of buyers out there that are willing to do that. So you as a seller need to be aware that I'm guessing this time, it's spring of next year, we're going to have plenty more listings that will be more reasonably priced than what we've seen this year. We have a plethora of listings that should probably not be on the market right now. They need to come off the market because they're not going to sell for that price. The seller is not motivated to take a price below it, and it's just a big waste of time. Now, the people that are going to get real with their pricing and hire an agent that can actually get the job done for them and not approach this process by, hey, let me cut out all the stuff that I'm paying from a marketing perspective and just throw it on the MLS and let the agent sell it for me. That's not the recipe for success. That's a recipe for disaster. I've seen more agents go out of business since I got licensed by doing something like that than those that capitalize on the opportunity, deliver more value than other agents, use their experience to get you through this process and get the most amount of money for your house possible and accomplish the goal of selling. So my point is this: you're going to have less competition if you list right now. If you list in spring, that's when everybody else lists. And my guess is that people are going to be more motivated because we will have more months worth of news of a shifted market, which is going to cause the agents to get a little bit more real with the sellers and say, look, this is what's happening. I want this listing, but I have to be able to sell it, because a lot of agents out there are going to start to see their sales go down, which means their budgets are going to go down. So it's a very precarious situation, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But if you want to learn more about what we do to sell properties, feel free to give me a call. My number is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273, or go to listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Stick around for the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA.
Stay tuned for more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.